Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video, I'll be discussing my thoughts on episode 8 of the anime series Onihei. And this one definitely got a little bit ridiculous, at least for my own personal taste. Somebody who doesn't drink, smoke, anything like that. Heizo gets really bent sideways about this family heirloom pipe being, for all intents and purposes, stolen right out from under his nose because he's contracted a cold at the start of the episode. We see it's completely laid him out. It's either a cold or a flu, I'm not exactly sure, but his doctor has said, bed rest, bed rest, bed rest, and he ends up sneaking a nightly drink with one of his, arson theft control compadres, and this brings back the cold full force all over again. It knocks him out, completely knocks him for a loop all over again. And in the dead of night, while he's kind of, in that sort of fever dream state where he's kind of awake, but he's not really fully conscious, someone has snuck into his room, this place that should be on lockdown for all intents and purposes, and they've made off with this family heirloom pipe that belonged to his father. His father had specifically commissioned to be made, specially made and everything like that. And I had initially kind of thought in the early going, like, watch it, it ends up being Heizo's son or something like that. Wanting to partake of the family pipe. I don't know. Because I'm not into the tobacco and everything like that. I mean, smoke a little green, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, I thought it was going to be like an internal family thing. I didn't expect for it to turn the way that it did, that, Kumahachi ends up becoming tantamount to this episode once again. We find out that he's been working with Heizo for several months now. And it's actually an old sort of thieving partner of his. This old man, Tomogoro, is his name of current, his alias of current, who's this boat runner up and down, the river and everything like that. This guy, because of all of the sort of, stories that are going on about the Onihei and everything, how ubiquitous Heizo is and how clamping down he is on the criminal element, and he's like a demon in the dark. Criminals have no choice but to run scared because this guy is going to hand them their asses. He's going to catch them, he's going to kill them, he's going to prosecute them, whatever it is. He's like a ghost in the night. So, of course, this old man, it really flares up his thieving, juices of old, and he gets the better of Heizo. He's bragging about this fact after, of course, Heizo and his buddy, they go out for just, a nightly walk, and he's really concerned about where this pipe might have ended up. His wife said she put it away in its usual spot, in his sort of closet right off his bed and everything like that. And he ends up running into, because this cat is like, hey, let's take a boat. He runs into Tomogoro, who is very much, while they're sitting under a fireworks display, which is all kinds of brilliant, I might add. I love the animation of that entire sequence. But it turns out this guy, he brandishes the pipe, and Heizo immediately recognizes it. And it's very lucky for Heizo that this guy never tried to get a peek at him to see what he actually looked like in the dead of night. He was in and out like a breeze and missed completely what Heizo looked like. So Heizo could then, sick Kumahachi on him, wondering what's up with this old guy. How did he get this pipe? What exactly was going on with that? And this is when Kumahachi realizes he knows the old guy from his former life as a criminal. And I love how it's sort of the tide turns very literally in sort of the fantastical direction of now we're going to get the best of Tomogoro, because he's got Heizo basically saying to Kumahachi, here, you're going to go back to him and you're going to say, oh, I was so impressed by your sneaking into the Oni's, personal residence. I thought I would do it as well. And they've actually gotten, tighter security ever since you went in and stole the pipe and everything. But I still managed to sneak out with this like little wallet or whatever it is with the family crest on it, something along those lines. And he does this, and he shows this to Tomogoro, who loses his mind. He's like, okay, well, youngling, young master, if you think you're that badass, let me try to outdo you. Let's see what I'm capable of. And Kumahachi cracks this plan that probably was instigated by Heizo, was in the works from the beginning. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to sneak back in. I'm going to put this back where it was. You sneak back in, you put the pipe back where it was, and then you come back out with this thing that I stole, this wallet, whatever it is. And it's just absolutely ridiculous to me it works out to that effect. And even this second time, Tomogoro has managed to sneak into, Heizo's residence, and he still isn't trying to get a peek at him or anything like that. So that the end, the sort of 1-2 punch of the end, Heizo goes back to this guy, and he brandishes his pipe finally after treating him to dinner or whatever, drinks and dinner. And this guy almost loses his crap because there is the pipe, and he's like, I'm going to give you this gold Rio. Can I have my little satchel bag, my little purse, my little wallet, whatever it is back? And like, I just started cracking up at that point because they got the better of this old guy who thought he was getting the better of Heizo, the Oni, and everything like that. And just for the fact that he didn't recognize who Heizo was, this all smacked him upside the head, But like, I loved the almost fantasy-esque aspect of when they're out on the river just before that ending, and we see this gigantic koi fish inkyo or whatever the guy, the old man's calling it, referencing the fact that this fish has been there for 70, 80 years, all the time he's been up and down the river, all the boatmen know him. It can respond to certain voices and everything, and it seems as though when he calls out to this fish, it comes right up to the boat and swims past it all excitedly and everything like that. So it was really interesting, that aspect of it. Kind of reminded me of some of the Rakugo in, the anime series Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju, where they have these great, fantastical, fantasy-esque stories of communicating with fish and, magical, mystical things happening. The fireworks, the period that, Onihei takes place in, all that stuff. It just seemed to drive it all home to me by the end. And when I was kind of uninvested in it in the beginning because of the whole smoking, tobacco, drinking, everything like that, things that I don't get into, it won me over by the end that at least it was a quirky, fun sort of story, and there was a fantastical element to it that was like a nice even playing field for the story. Something that I could grip onto and be like, wow, this is actually kind of cool with the fireworks and everything, as I say. And so, pretty good episode turned out to be, where I kind of wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it in the early going. And just seeing, Heizo having fun with the old man, getting the better of him. For this old man who tried to get the better of Heizo in the beginning. I just thought that was kind of funny. And so yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about this particular episode. Love to hear from you guys in the comments below what you thought of it, if you've seen it as well. And otherwise, it'll be pretty much it for me on this. Hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.